In a remote village nestled in the heart of Africa, life moved with the rhythm of the seasons. The villagers, bound by tradition and a sense of community, lived simple yet fulfilling lives. Among them was a man named Kwame, who was known for his wisdom and kindness. Kwame was married to Ama, a beautiful and loyal woman who was the love of his life. They had been married for over 10 years, and their bond seemed unbreakable. However, beneath the surface of their seemingly perfect marriage, a storm was brewing. Kwame and Ama had been trying to have children for years, but despite their efforts, they remained childless. This weighed heavily on Kwame, as having children was not only a personal dream, but also a societal expectation. The pressure from his family and the village elders grew with each passing year. The whispers and sideways glances from the villagers gnawed at his spirit, and Kwame found himself sinking into despair. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky was painted with hues of orange and pink, Kwame sat outside his hut, deep in thought. Ama noticed the furrowed lines on his forehead and the sadness in his eyes. She sat beside him and took his hand in hers. "What troubles you, my love?" Ama asked softly, her voice filled with concern. Kwame sighed heavily and looked into her eyes. "Ama, I cannot bear this burden any longer. The villagers talk, and our families pressure us. I feel like I'm failing you and everyone else." Ama squeezed his hand reassuringly. "We have each other, Kwame. That is enough for me. Children or no children, my love for you remains unchanged." Kwame smiled weakly at her words, but his heart remained heavy. That night, he lay awake, his mind racing with thoughts and possibilities. As the moon cast its silvery glow through the window, an idea began to take shape in his mind, a desperate and shocking idea. The next morning, Kwame woke early and left the hut, walking through the village with a determined stride. He sought out his closest friend Kofi, a man he had known since childhood. Kofi was strong, handsome, and had a reputation for being a loyal friend. Kwame found him working in his fields, and he approached him with a serious expression. "Kofi, I need to talk to you about something important," Kwame said, his voice trembling slightly. Kofi looked up from his work, sensing the gravity of the situation. "What is it, Kwame? You know you can tell me anything." Kwame took a deep breath and steeled himself. "Kofi, I need your help. Ama and I have been trying to have children for years, but it seems we are cursed. I have thought long and hard about this, and I have come to a decision. I want you to sleep with my wife." Kofi's eyes widened in shock, and he dropped the hoe he was holding. "What are you saying, Kwame? Have you lost your mind?" Kwame shook his head, his eyes filled with desperation. "No, Kofi, I am not mad. I trust you more than anyone else. If Ama can conceive with you, then perhaps we can have the child we have always dreamed of. I beg you, please do this for me." Kofi was silent for a long time, processing the enormity of what Kwame was asking. He looked into his friend's eyes and saw the depth of his despair. Finally, he nodded slowly. "If this is truly what you want, Kwame, I will do it, but know that this could change everything." Kwame's heart pounded in his chest as he thanked Kofi. Together, they devised a plan. That evening, Kwame sat down with Ama and with great difficulty explained his desperate plea. Ama was initially horrified and heartbroken, but seeing the pain and determination in her husband's eyes, she reluctantly agreed. The night arrived when Kofi would come to their hut. Ama prepared herself, her heart heavy with dread and sorrow. Kwame sat outside, staring at the stars, his mind a whirlwind of emotions. He prayed silently, hoping that this sacrifice would bring them the child they longed for. Inside the hut, Kofi and Ama lay together, their hearts heavy with the weight of the situation. They both knew that this act, born out of desperation, could change their lives forever. As they lay in silence, a sense of unease settled over them. Days turned into weeks, and Ama began to show signs of pregnancy. The villagers noticed the change and whispered among themselves. Kwame and Ama kept their secret, but the tension between them grew. Kofi too felt the strain of the situation, and the once strong bond of friendship between him and Kwame began to fray. As Ama's pregnancy progressed, the village celebrated the news, oblivious to the turmoil beneath the surface. Kwame's initial joy was overshadowed by a growing sense of dread. He could not shake the feeling that something was amiss, that their actions would have consequences far beyond what they had anticipated. One night, as Ama's due date approached, a terrible storm swept through the village. The winds howled, and the rain fell in torrents. Kwame and Ama huddled inside their hut, their fears amplified by the raging storm outside. It was then that Ama went into labor. The village midwife was called, and she arrived quickly despite the storm. Hours passed, and the cries of a newborn filled the hut. A sense of relief washed over Kwame as he held his child for the first time. He looked into the baby's eyes and felt a profound love and connection, but the relief was short-lived. As the storm raged on, a sense of foreboding settled over the village. Strange occurrences began to happen. Animals behaved erratically, crops withered, and people fell ill. The villagers, once joyous at the birth of Kwame and Ama's child, now looked upon the family with suspicion and fear. Whispers of a curse spread through the village, and the once supportive community turned hostile. Kwame, Ama, and Kofi found themselves ostracized, blamed for the misfortunes that had befallen the village. The weight of their decision now bore down on them, and they realized that their desperate act had set off a chain of events that would change their lives forever. As the storm subsided and the village struggled to recover, Kwame, Ama, and Kofi faced the consequences of their actions. They had hoped for a child, but in their desperation, they had unleashed a force that threatened to tear their world apart. The journey ahead would test their love, friendship, and resilience as they sought to find a way to undo the damage and restore balance to their lives. The village's tranquility had shattered. The once harmonious community now eyed Kwame, Ama, and Kofi with distrust. The whispered rumors of a curse grew louder, and the villagers' fear morphed into anger. They blamed the trio for their misfortunes, convinced that the unnatural birth had angered the spirits. Kwame, Ama, and Kofi felt the weight of the villagers' animosity. Every day was a struggle to maintain their dignity amidst the accusations. Kwame could see the pain in Ama's eyes, the joy of motherhood overshadowed by the villagers' hatred. Kofi, once a respected member of the community, now bore the brunt of their scorn alongside them. As the days passed, the strange occurrences continued. Livestock died inexplicably, and crops failed to grow despite the farmers' best efforts. The village's wise elder, Nana Ya, sought answers from the ancestors and the spirits of the land. She spent days in the sacred grove, seeking guidance. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the village was bathed in the soft glow of twilight, Nana Ya emerged from the grove. She called for a gathering in the village square. The villagers, eager for answers, quickly assembled. Kwame, Ama, and Kofi stood at the edge of the crowd, feeling the weight of the villagers' stares. Nana Ya raised her hands for silence and spoke in a voice that commanded attention. The spirits have spoken. They are angry, but not with Kwame, Ama, or Kofi alone. They are displeased with all of us for allowing fear and hatred to take root in our hearts. The spirits demand that we seek atonement and restore harmony to our community. The villagers murmured amongst themselves, the realization of their collective guilt settling in. Nana Ya continued, "We must perform a cleansing ritual to appease the spirits. Each of us must contribute, and we must do so with pure hearts and minds. Only then will the curse be lifted and balance restored." The villagers, driven by a mixture of fear and hope, agreed to follow Nana Ya's guidance. Preparations for the ritual began immediately. The villagers gathered herbs, prepared offerings, and constructed an altar in the center of the village. Kwame, Ama, and Kofi, despite their ostracization, participated wholeheartedly, hoping for redemption. On the night of the ritual, the village gathered around the altar, the air thick with anticipation. Nana Ya, dressed in ceremonial robes, led the proceedings. She called upon the spirits of the ancestors and the elements, asking for their forgiveness and guidance. The villagers chanted and made offerings, their collective energy focused on healing. As the ritual reached its climax, a sudden gust of wind swept through the village, extinguishing the torches and plunging the square into darkness. The villagers gasped, their fear palpable. But then, a soft, ethereal light emanated from the altar, illuminating Nana Ya and the offerings. Nana Ya's voice rang out, clear and strong. "The spirits have heard our plea. They have seen our sincerity and our willingness to change. We must now live with love and compassion in our hearts, for ourselves and for each other." The villagers felt a profound sense of relief wash over them. They realized that their fear and anger had blinded them to the true essence of their community. They turned to Kwame, Ama, and Kofi, their eyes filled with remorse and a desire to make amends. In the days that followed, the village began to heal, the livestock regained their health, and the crops started to grow again. The villagers, guided by Nana Ya's wisdom, worked together to restore the harmony they had lost. Kwame, Ama, and Kofi were welcomed back into the fold, their bond stronger than ever. Kwame and Ama's child, a symbol of their love and sacrifice, grew up surrounded by a community that had learned the value of compassion and unity. The villagers, having faced their fears and overcome them, were now bound by a shared understanding of the importance of love, respect, and harmony. And so, the village thrived once more, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of community. The lessons learned during that tumultuous time were passed down through generations, ensuring that the mistakes of the past would not be repeated. The spirits, appeased and content, watched over the village, their blessings evident in the prosperity and happiness that now defined their lives. Months passed, and the village returned to its previous rhythm. Yet, within the hearts of Kwame, Ama, and Kofi, an unease lingered. The weight of their secret bore down heavily, despite the outward peace that had been restored. Their child, growing stronger each day, was a constant reminder of the extraordinary circumstances surrounding their family's creation. One evening, as the sun set in hues of amber and crimson, Kwame sought the counsel of the village elders. He approached the elders' hut, his steps hesitant but determined. The elders, wise and experienced, had guided the village through countless challenges. Kwame hoped they could offer him solace and guidance. Inside the dimly lit hut, the air was thick with the scent of burning herbs. The elders sat in a circle, their faces etched with lines of wisdom and time. Kwame bowed respectfully before them. "Elders, I seek your wisdom," Kwame began, his voice filled with humility. "Though the village has found peace, my heart remains troubled. The circumstances of my child's birth weigh heavily upon me, and I fear the consequences of our actions." The eldest of the group, Nana Badu, nodded thoughtfully. "Kwame, you have shown great courage in coming to us. The path you and Ama have walked is fraught with challenges. Tell us everything so we may understand fully." Kwame recounted the story, sparing no detail. He spoke of his desperation, the plea to Kofi, and the resulting birth of his child. The elders listened intently, their expressions unreadable. When he finished, a heavy silence filled the room. After what seemed like an eternity, Nana Badu spoke. "The spirits are wise and just. They see beyond our understanding and judge not only our actions, but the intentions behind them. Your desperation led you to make a difficult choice, one that has had far-reaching consequences." Another elder, Mame Esi, added, "The spirits have already shown their displeasure once. We must ensure that our future actions align with their will. We cannot change the past, but we can seek their continued guidance to forge a path forward." Kwame's heart ached with the burden of their words. He bowed his head, feeling both shame and relief. "What must I do to atone and ensure my family's future is blessed?" Nana Badu's eyes softened. "You must embark on a quest of understanding and reconciliation. The bond between you, Ama, and Kofi must be healed. Seek out the sacred grove, commune with the spirits, and ask for their forgiveness. Only through unity and humility can you find the peace you seek." Grateful for their counsel, Kwame returned home. He shared the elders' words with Ama and Kofi, and together they prepared for the journey to the sacred grove. The night before their departure, they sat in a circle outside their hut, the stars twinkling above them. Ama spoke first, her voice steady. "We have faced so much together. Let us approach this quest with open hearts and a willingness to heal." Kofi nodded, his expression resolute. "Whatever the spirits ask of us, we will do. Our bond is strong, and together we can overcome any obstacle." With the first light of dawn, the trio set out for the sacred grove. The path was long and arduous, winding through dense forests and across rushing rivers. Along the way, they encountered signs and omens, strange animals that crossed their path, unusual formations in the trees, and whispers carried by the wind. Each sign reminded them of the spirit's presence and the gravity of their quest. As they approached the grove, an overwhelming sense of reverence washed over them. The air was thick with the scent of ancient trees and blooming flowers. The grove, a place of profound spiritual significance, was bathed in a soft, otherworldly light. They knelt before the sacred altar, their hearts filled with a mixture of fear and hope. Kwame spoke first, his voice trembling. "Spirits of the ancestors, we come before you seeking forgiveness and guidance. We acknowledge our mistakes and ask for your mercy." Ama and Kofi joined in, their voices blending in a harmonious plea. "We seek to heal our bond and restore the harmony of our lives. Show us the path to redemption." For a moment there was only silence. Then a gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and a soft ethereal glow surrounded them. The spirits, moved by their sincerity, responded with a sense of calm and acceptance. In the days that followed, Kwame, Ama, and Kofi remained in the grove, meditating and performing rituals of atonement. They shared their deepest fears and regrets, forging a stronger bond through their vulnerability. The spirits, witnessing their genuine efforts, blessed them with visions of a future filled with hope and unity. When they finally returned to the village, they were greeted with open arms. The villagers, sensing the change within them, embraced them warmly. The bond between Kwame, Ama, and Kofi had been tested and strengthened, and the village, now united in understanding and compassion, thrived once more. Their story, a testament to the power of love, forgiveness, and community, became a cherished tale passed down through generations. The village, guided by the wisdom of the elders and the spirits, continued to prosper, forever grateful for the lessons learned through the trials they had faced. The night was serene, with the moon casting a gentle glow over the village. Inside their modest hut, Kwame, Ama, and Kofi sat in reflective silence. The sacred grove had provided them with a sense of peace, yet they knew their quest for understanding was not complete. There was still a deeper truth to uncover, one that required patience and unwavering faith. Days passed, and life in the village continued to flourish. The bond between the three strengthened as they worked together, sharing in the joys and challenges of daily life. Kwame noticed how Kofi played with the children, his laughter echoing through the air, while Ama's nurturing spirit brought comfort to all who sought her guidance. Their child, growing stronger each day, was a beacon of hope and love. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the land, an unexpected visitor arrived at their hut. It was Ajoa, a revered seer from a neighboring village. Her presence was both surprising and reassuring, for Ajoa was known for her profound connection to the spiritual realm. Kwame, Ama, Kofi, Ajoa greeted them with a warm smile, her eyes twinkling with wisdom. The spirits have guided me to you. There is more you need to understand about your path. They welcomed her into their home, offering her a seat and a cup of herbal tea. Ajoa's presence brought a sense of calm, as if the very air around her vibrated with the energy of the ancestors. The spirits have revealed to me a vision, Ajoa began, her voice melodic and soothing. Your child is not merely a symbol of your love and sacrifice, but a bridge between the past and the future. The ancestors have chosen you for a greater purpose. Kwame, Ama, and Kofi listened intently, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Ajoa's words carried a weight that resonated deeply within them. To understand this purpose, Ajoa continued, you must embark on a pilgrimage to the ancient shrine of Nyame. There you will find the answers you seek and the blessings you need to fulfill your destiny. The mention of Nyame, the supreme deity of the Ashanti, filled them with awe. The ancient shrine was a place of profound spiritual significance, shrouded in mystery and revered by all. The pilgrimage would be arduous, but they were determined to see it through. The next morning, they prepared for the pilgrimage. The villagers, having sensed the importance of their quest, offered their support, providing supplies and well wishes. As they set out, the village elder, Nana Ya, gave them a sacred talisman, a symbol of protection and guidance from the ancestors. The path to the shrine led through dense forests and over rugged mountains. Along the way, they encountered numerous challenges that tested their resolve. Yet with each step, their faith grew stronger and their bond deepened. One night, as they camped by a tranquil river, Ama awoke to a strange sound. She followed the gentle melody, leading her to a clearing bathed in moonlight. There she saw a figure draped in shimmering robes, radiating a serene energy. Do not be afraid, the figure spoke, their voice a harmonious blend of male and female tones. I am an emissary of Nyame. You have come far and your dedication has not gone unnoticed. Ama knelt, her heart swelling with reverence. We seek understanding and guidance. Please, tell us what we must do. The emissary smiled. Your child is destined to unite the tribes and bring peace to the land. To fulfill this prophecy, you must continue your pilgrimage and receive the blessings of Nyame. Only then will your path be clear. The figure vanished, leaving Ama with a renewed sense of purpose. She returned to the camp, sharing the encounter with Kwame and Kofi. Their determination was reignited, and they pressed on with unwavering resolve. The village buzzed with excitement as preparations for the annual Festival of Harvest began. This year, the festival held a special significance, for it was not only a time of thanksgiving, but also a celebration of the blessings received from Niame. The air was filled with the aroma of roasted yams, fresh herbs, and spiced meats, while vibrant decorations adorned every hut and pathway. Kwame, Ama, and Kofi were at the heart of the preparations. Their experiences and the divine blessing had elevated their status within the community. They worked tirelessly, coordinating the events, preparing offerings, and ensuring that every detail was perfect for the sacred occasion. On the eve of the festival, the village gathered around a massive bonfire in the central square. The elders, draped in traditional robes, led the opening ceremony. Nana Ya, with her voice resonating through the night, recounted the tale of Kwame, Ama, and Kofi and their sacred pilgrimage to the shrine of Niame. The villagers listened with rapt attention, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. As the story concluded, Kwame stepped forward, holding the sacred talisman given to them by Nana Ya. He raised it high, and the crowd fell silent. Tonight, we honor the spirits, the ancestors, and the divine blessings of Niame. Let this festival be a testament to our unity, resilience, and the hope that guides us. The festivities began in earnest with music, dance, and feasting. Drummers played rhythmic beats that resonated deep within the soul, while dancers adorned in colorful attire moved with grace and energy. Ama, with her gentle yet commanding presence, led the women in a traditional dance that celebrated fertility and abundance. Kofi, alongside the men, performed feats of strength and skill, symbolizing protection and provision. As the night wore on, a sense of magic filled the air. The village shaman, Ajoa, who had visited them months before, approached the center of the square. She carried a large, intricately carved drum, its surface covered with symbols of power and protection. The villagers gathered around, eager to witness the shaman's sacred ritual. Ajoa began to drum, her hands moving with a speed and precision that seemed otherworldly. The rhythm was hypnotic, drawing everyone into a trance-like state. As the beat intensified, she chanted in a language known only to the spirits. The air around them shimmered, and the villagers felt a palpable connection to the divine. In the midst of the drumming and chanting, a figure appeared within the flames of the bonfire. It was the emissary of Niame, their form shimmering with an ethereal light. The villagers gasped in awe, falling to their knees in reverence. "People of the village," the emissary's voice echoed, "your faith and unity have pleased Niame. The blessings bestowed upon you are a testament to your strength and devotion. Continue to live in harmony, and your prosperity will know no bounds." With that, the figure vanished, leaving the villagers in a state of profound wonder. The drumming ceased, and Ajoa lowered her hands, her face serene. The significance of the moment was not lost on anyone. They had been visited by a divine presence, reaffirming their path and purpose. The festival continued with renewed vigor, a celebration not just of the harvest, but of their collective journey and the divine favor they had earned. The children, eyes wide with wonder, danced and played, their laughter echoing through the night. Elders shared stories of old, weaving the past with the present, ensuring that the lessons learned would never be forgotten. As dawn approached, the village gathered for the final ceremony. The first rays of the sun bathed the square in golden light, and Kwame, Ama, and Kofi stood together, holding their child, a symbol of hope and unity. They offered a final prayer of gratitude to Niame, their voices rising in a harmonious chorus. The festival had transformed into a sacred tradition, a reminder of the power of faith, love, and community. The village, blessed and guided by the spirits, looked to the future with confidence and hope, ready to face any challenge with unwavering resolve. As the days grew shorter and the air turned crisp with the approach of the dry season, the village welcomed a visitor whose presence promised further enlightenment and healing. Nia, a renowned healer from a distant land, arrived with tales of her own mystical experiences and a wealth of knowledge about herbal medicine and spiritual practices. Nia was tall and graceful, her eyes sparkling with wisdom and kindness. The villagers, intrigued by her reputation, gathered eagerly to hear her speak. She settled in the village square, surrounded by children and elders alike, and began to share her stories. "Greetings, my new friends," Nia began, her voice like a soothing melody. "I come from a land far beyond the mountains, where the spirits of the earth and sky are deeply revered. My journey has brought me here, guided by a vision of a village blessed by the divine." Kwame, Ama, and Kofi listened intently, recognizing the significance of Nia's arrival. They approached her after the gathering, seeking her wisdom and insight into their own spiritual path. Nia, Kwame said respectfully, we have been blessed by Naomi and seek to continue living in harmony with the spirits. Your knowledge could guide us further. Will you stay with us and teach us? Nia smiled warmly. I see the light within you and your family. It would be an honor to share my knowledge and help your village grow stronger in spirit and health. Over the next weeks, Nia became an integral part of the community. She taught the villagers how to harness the healing properties of the local plants, turning leaves and roots into potent remedies. She also led ceremonies to honor the spirits, deepening the villagers' connection to the spiritual realm. Ama, in particular, found a kindred spirit in Nia. The two women spent hours together, exchanging knowledge and stories. Nia showed Ama how to prepare healing salves and teas, while Ama shared the sacred rituals she had learned from Nanaya and the elders. One evening, as the village gathered for a communal meal, Nia sensed a disturbance in the air. She stood and called for silence, her expression serious. There is a shadow over this land, she said. I feel the presence of a restless spirit, one that seeks peace but cannot find it. The villagers exchanged worried glances, their minds racing with the possibilities. Nanaya stepped forward, her face etched with concern. We must find the source of this unrest and bring harmony back to our land. Nia, how can we help this spirit find peace? Nia closed her eyes, her brow furrowed in concentration. We must seek the spirit's resting place and offer it the peace it craves. It will require the strength and unity of the entire village. Guided by Nia, the villagers prepared for a night of spiritual work. They gathered sacred herbs and prepared offerings, determined to appease the restless spirit. As the moon rose high in the sky, casting an ethereal glow over the land, the villagers made their way to the ancient burial grounds on the outskirts of the village. The burial grounds were a place of deep reverence, where the ancestors rested and the veil between worlds was thin. Nia led the villagers in a chant, calling upon the spirit to reveal itself and express its needs. The air grew heavy with anticipation, and a chill ran down their spines. Suddenly, a figure appeared, shimmering in the moonlight. It was an old man, his face lined with sorrow and regret. He spoke in a voice that echoed through the night. I am Kwaku, once a healer of this village. My spirit cannot rest because of a wrong I committed in life. I seek forgiveness and peace. Nia stepped forward, her voice gentle yet firm. Kwaku, we are here to help you find the peace you seek. Tell us of your wrong so we may help you atone. Kwaku's spirit sighed, the sound like a whisper of wind through the trees. I wronged a family in my pursuit of knowledge, causing them great pain. I see now the harm I caused and wish to make amends. The villagers, moved by Kwaku's plea, joined hands in a circle around the spirit. They chanted prayers of forgiveness and offered their energy to help heal the wound of the past. Kwame, Ama, and Kofi, feeling a deep empathy for the restless soul, led the prayers with heartfelt sincerity. As the chanting grew stronger, a soft light enveloped Kwaku's spirit. His face relaxed, the lines of sorrow easing. Thank you, he whispered, his voice filled with gratitude. I can now find peace. With those words, Kwaku's spirit faded, leaving behind a sense of calm and resolution. The villagers, exhausted but filled with a profound sense of accomplishment, returned to the village, knowing they had restored balance and honored their ancestors. Nia, her purpose fulfilled, prepared to continue her travels. She embraced Kwame, Ama, and Kofi, leaving them with words of wisdom. Remember, the spirits are always with you. Honor them and they will guide you. Live with love and compassion and your village will thrive. The villagers, grateful for Nia's presence and teachings, bid her farewell with gifts and blessings. As she disappeared into the horizon, they felt a renewed sense of purpose and unity, ready to face whatever challenges the future might bring. In the wake of Nia's departure, the village entered a period of reflection and renewal. The elders and the younger generation alike took to heart the teachings and experiences that had transformed their community. Kwame, Ama, and Kofi felt a profound sense of duty to uphold the balance they had fought so hard to restore. As the seasons changed, the village saw the fruits of their unity and spiritual alignment. The harvests were bountiful, the livestock thrived, and the villagers lived in harmony. The story of the restless spirit, Kwaku, and his eventual peace became a legend, a reminder of the importance of forgiveness and understanding. One evening, as the sun set in a brilliant display of colors, Kwame gathered the village in the central square. The air was filled with anticipation and a sense of celebration. It was time to honor the legacy of their journey and the spirits that had guided them. Kwame stood before the villagers, his voice carrying the weight of their shared experiences. We have walked a path of trials and triumphs, guided by the spirits and the wisdom of our ancestors. Tonight we celebrate not just our survival, but our growth and unity. Amma stepped forward, holding their child, who had become a symbol of hope and the future. Our journey has shown us the power of love and the strength of community. Let us always remember that we are stronger together, bound by our shared history and the blessings of the spirits. Kofi, with a smile, joined them. We have learned to listen to the whispers of the past and the guidance of the spirits. Our village stands as a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of faith and unity. The villagers cheered, their hearts filled with pride and gratitude. That night, they danced and sang, their voices rising to the heavens in a harmonious celebration of life and spirit. The children, eyes wide with wonder, listened to the elders recount the tales of their journey, ensuring that the lessons would never be forgotten. As the festivities continued, a soft breeze swept through the square, carrying with it a sense of peace and contentment. Kwame, Amma, and Kofi felt the presence of the spirits, a gentle reminder of their ever-watchful guardians. In the years that followed, the village thrived, guided by the principles of unity, love, and respect for the spirits. The legacy of their journey became woven into the fabric of their culture, a timeless story passed down through generations. The spirit of Kwaku, now at peace, was honored each year with a special ceremony, reminding the villagers of the power of forgiveness and the importance of atonement. The sacred grove, the shrine of Nyami, and the burial grounds became pilgrimage sites, places of reflection and spiritual connection. Kwame, Amma, and Kofi, having fulfilled their destiny, lived long lives filled with love and purpose. Their child grew into a wise and compassionate leader, continuing the legacy of their parents and guiding the village with the same principles that had brought them peace and prosperity. The village, blessed by the spirits and united in purpose, stood as a beacon of hope and harmony. And so, the story of their journey, a tale of faith, love, and unity, continued to inspire and guide, a timeless legend in the heart of Africa.